Alright, so here we are with the new killer, Dracula. I gotta be honest, he looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. And he's got some really great voice lines, as you can hear. But we're gonna hop right into checking his perks out. We've already got him selected because we were just live. Alright, so first up is the perk Dominance. This one's kind of interesting. It's almost like old school Thrill of the Hunt, where it used to give you a notification when your totems were being cleansed. Now, whenever a chest or totem is being interacted with by a survivor, it's blocked by the entity for 8 seconds. So like Grim Embrace, it'll kick you off the totem for 8 seconds, and then it highlights the chest or totem in white. Now, the chest part will make sense later, but this is kind of a way to kind of safeguard hex perks at the beginning of the match, I think. Or to just give you an alert that they finally found where your hex is at. And obviously you'll know once it turns white that somebody found it and you can go protect it. It's a one-time use thing. I think they could give it like 2 to 3 tokens, but have some type of criteria for gaining tokens. That is, I don't know, maybe you hook 2 survivors and it gets another token or something like that. I don't know. But it's definitely interesting. It's not great. It's not super strong. It is helpful and makes hex perks a little bit more viable. But still, at the end of the day, I think Pentimento is a way better option than this, because at the end of the day, Pentimento is the greatest deterrent, because if they get rid of a Hex Totem and then they see Pentimento pop up, they might not get rid of any more Hex perks unless they find out it's like a Devour Hope, because they don't want to be working on gens 30% slower. So yeah. Up next, we have a Hex perk. It's called Hex Wretched Fate. After one generator has been repaired, a random dull totem becomes a Hex totem and curses the obsession. Now, this is something I've noticed I started to do with Hex perks, where they're not active until a criteria has been met. Like Hex 2 can play, you have to be stunned twice, then a dull totem lights up. Hex Face the Darkness, you have to injure a survivor, then a totem lights up. Same goes here. A generator has to be completed, and then the obsession, and the obsession only receives a 30% or 33% repair speed penalty. They also see the Hex Totem's aura within 12 meters. The effect persists, obviously, till the totem's cleansed. This isn't really great. I mean, it's not awful by any means. It's not in the bottom 10 perks of all time. It's one survivor, though, who's 33% slower. I don't think it's really gonna... It's a Hex perk. I feel like they're being way too lenient with Hex perks. They could make this to where once 2 generators are repaired, the whole team receives a 33% debuff, and then the whole team sees the aura for like 6 meters or something like that. But instead, it's just the obsession, so I'm not really too like fond of it, honestly. And then you have Human Greed. You see the auras of unopened chests, and survivors' auras are revealed for 3 seconds when they enter a 8-meter range. You gain the ability to kick chests to close them. The ability has a 60-second cooldown. Survivors unlock these chests 50% faster. So this is really just a worse version of Darkness Revealed. I'm really not sure. Like, it's just not... This is his worst perk for sure. Yes, you do get a 3-second aura read when they're within 8 meters. There's only like, what, 8 chests on the map. So this is a far inferior version of Darkness Revealed. It's 3 seconds, 5 with Lethal Pursuer, and you're giving them another item. So that's not great. You kick the chest shut after they pull the item out of it, and all of a sudden they get another item when they reopen it, and they reopen it 50% faster. This is also going to make Specialist way more powerful if this ever became meta, because they can get hella tokens from Specialist by this, but just a very interesting perk choice. And honestly, if Hangman's Trick is 12 meters, this should be 12 meters, because it's just, there's not that many chests. The only thing is, if all survivors brought the shiny coin and then the killer brought Hoarder, then that would be insane. That'd be like map-wide coverage, but it's just not great. It's not great. The first 2 are better. The first one is the best out of all of them. I think a 33% repair speed penalty on one person, just, that's not... It's definitely gonna make an impact, but it's just not great. But yeah. And then to the survivors perks real quick. Oh, I forgot we just gotta go back. Switch to survivor. Trevor Belmont, we already got his perks pulled up. So he's got Exultation. Stunning the killer with a pallet upgrades your held item to the next rarity tier, then recharges 25% of the item's maximum charges. This is definitely his best perk. So if you have a green flashlight, you stun the killer, now you have a purple flashlight, and you get 25% of the charges back. 25% of the maximum charges. So it's, if your flashlight has 16 charges, and you have, let's say you use 8 and you stun them, you'll get 4 charges back. So it's 25% of the max, not 25% of what's left, right? It has a 30-second cooldown, so basically the cooldown's non-existent. That's pretty much never going to come into play. It's very rare you'd get 2 suns in 30 seconds. So yeah. Eyes of Belmont. So this is lethal pursuer for survivors. When a generator is completed, the aura of the killer is revealed to you for 3 seconds. Whenever a killer's aura is revealed for a specified amount of time, the time is increased by 2 seconds. It's just not that great. There's not a lot of aura reading perks for survivors, and even so, they're like, I don't know, I think the best aura reading perk for survivors is Object of Obsession, and even so, that gives away your aura too, and that'll take Object from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. This itself is going to be 5 seconds because of its own effect. Seeing a killer's aura for 5 seconds after completing a gen's not bad, but it's just not great. I mean, this could be better, like maybe fog-wise. When you hit great skill checks, you'll see them for 7 seconds or whatever. Or alert, when they're kicking a pallet, you see them a little bit longer. I don't know. It's just, that's not great. And then Moment of Glory. This by far is the worst perk. I'm not sure what it is, like what they were thinking. So this perk activates once you open or rummage through 2 chests. Okay, keep that in mind. You have to search 2 chests. When you become injured, you also become broken. Automatically heal 1 health state after 60 seconds. Then this perk deactivates. The effect is canceled if you enter the dying state. The perk will not activate if you're already suffering from the broken status effect. I have no idea what is this perk. I guess you combine it with resilience, and then you can just work on a gen for 60 seconds. But at that point, you're better off just bringing a med kit and 99ing your heal. And then when the killer gets close, you finish the heal. Like, I have no idea. There's no benefit to this at all whatsoever, besides being able to work on gens without healing. And even then, that's a huge risk. If I hit you and I see you become broken, I mean, I'll probably just I'll just keep chasing you and hit you again. You know, I'm so confused. I really don't know what they're going for with this perk. I don't understand. And the effect being canceled when you enter the dying state what my guess was going to be. Maybe that would be kind of cool. You know, the survivor or the killer hits you, you go down, or the survivor hits you, you're broken. The killer hits you, you go down, and then 20 seconds later, because that's what's left on your timer, you're picked up off the ground. That could be cool. And an anti-slug perk. I have no idea what this perk is for, honestly. I really don't know what's going on here. So yeah, that was the killer perks and survivor perks. We're going to, yeah, I guess we'll end this one here, and we'll make a separate video going over his add-ons and power. His power is insane, honestly. But yeah, that does it for this one. Obviously, this isn't final. It's going to be like 3 weeks. They'll have tweaks and changes to it. But yeah, you know, definitely some interesting perks. Some of them are better than others. Most of them are kind of lackluster. That's just how it's been, though, for the past, I don't know, the last really good perk was Gabriel Soma's made for this. Ever since then, the perks have kind of been at. But yeah, that does it for this one. Just want to go over those real quick, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.